They didn't just conquer, they took. When Rome marched into a territory, enslavement wasn't a consequence of war. It was the plan. Entire populations were stripped of their freedom, shackled, and dragged across the Mediterranean. This wasn't the work of a few rogue generals. This was policy. Let's start with Gaul. Julius Caesar's campaigns between 58 and 50 BCE weren't just military victories. They were slave raids on an industrial scale. When the Atuatuci tribe surrendered, Caesar sold 53,000 people in a single day. One day, 53,000 lives auctioned off to the highest bidder. The Gallic Wars claimed over 1 million lives, but another million were reduced to property. Men, women, children, loaded onto carts and ships, sent to Rome, to estates, to mines. Caesar wrote about it himself, casually, as if it were routine. Greece fell differently, not through one sudden invasion, but through slow domination. By 146 BCE, Rome crushed the Achaean League. The city of Corinth was burned, its entire population sold at auction. Athens, Sparta, Thebes, these weren't just defeated, they were hollowed out. Greek scholars, artists, and tutors became Roman property. They educated Roman children, built Roman culture, while wearing chains. Rome claimed Greek civilization as its own, but it was built by Greek slaves. Carthage is the clearest example. 3 wars, over a century of conflict, and when Rome finally took Carthage in 146 BCE, they didn't just win. They erased it. The city burned for 17 days. Around 50,000 survivors were sold. The land itself was ploughed under, salted according to legend. Carthage had been one of the great powers of the ancient world. Rome made sure it would never return. North Africa became a supplier. Berber populations, Numidians, entire tribes, taken alive, shipped west. Some worked the fields, others were forced into arenas. Spain resisted Rome for 200 years. From 218 BCE to 19 BCE, Iberian tribes fought back again and again. Every revolt ended the same way: mass capture, mass sale. After Numantia fell in 133 BCE, its survivors were sold. The city was wiped from the map. Spain wasn't just conquered, it was exploited. Silver mines demanded bodies. Thousands died underground, replaced by thousands more. By this point, Rome wasn't reacting to resistance. Resistance was feeding an industry. The Eastern conquests followed. When Pompey swept through the Levant and Asia Minor in the 1st century BCE, cities weren't burned. People were taken. So many captives flooded the markets that slave prices collapsed. Judea rebelled twice. In 70 CE, Jerusalem fell. The temple was destroyed. Tens of thousands were captured. In 135 CE, after the Bar Kokhba revolt, hundreds of thousands were killed or taken. The land itself was renamed. Judea was erased from the map. Captives were paraded through Rome, forced to build monuments to their conquerors. The Arch of Titus still shows them, carrying the menorah in chains. Dacia fell in 106 CE. Trajan's victory brought gold and people, so many that Rome celebrated for 123 days. 11,000 died in the arena, most of them Dacian captives. Dacia's wealth funded Roman expansion. Dacian bodies built Roman monuments. Britain was a frontier, but enslavement reached it too. After Boudicca's rebellion in 60 CE, reprisals were brutal. Tens of thousands were killed, thousands more taken alive. Britannia never fully submitted, but every failed revolt fed the trade. Egypt was absorbed with little resistance, but the system remained. The grain that fed Rome was harvested by the enslaved and the coerced. Peasants bound to land and quota. Slavery by another name. Rome didn't invent slavery, it perfected it. It built an economy that required it, a culture that normalized it, a legal system that codified it. Slaves were property, objects, tools that happened to speak. By the height of the empire, 1 in 3 people in Italy was enslaved. In Rome itself, possibly 1 in 2. They came from everywhere: Gaul, Greece, Thrace, Egypt, Syria, Judea, Africa, Britannia, Dacia. They worked fields, mines, galleys, households, arenas, construction sites, every road, every aqueduct, every monument. Rome didn't just enslave countries, it engineered a world where conquest meant ownership of human beings, and it called that civilization